And I welcome you to the Spanglish World Network and Heart Network on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download Zingo TV app on the respective app stores. While you download it, please make sure that you rate it, that you leave a comment, that you let me know how I'm going, how I'm doing, what I need to do better. The app is totally free while you download Zingo TV app. Um, like I said, leave a comment. You can find Single TV on Google Chromecast and Amazon Fire, Fire TV Stick, Roku Sticks, and all smart TVs from 2016 forward. So today, allow me to welcome a great, fantastic friend from my neuroencoding family. He is an elite neuroencoding specialist. He's also a leadership coach with years and years of experience, and he's here to share his time with us. So I welcome you, Eric Stanley. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Paula. Thank you so much for having me. It's my honor and privilege to be here with you. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I mean, I'm so excited that you are here. I was so excited that I thought you were going to be with us last Tuesday. But it's like I messed up the schedule, but I'm glad you are here. So please share with us a little bit about you so that our audience get to know you more.
Sure. So, like you said, I am a neuroencoding lead specialist with Dr. Joseph McClendon and the Neuroencoding Institute. And I'm also a brain health coach with Dr. Daniel Amen and Amen Clinics. That's where a majority of that training lies. And I'm also a 13-year veteran in a company called Franklin Covey. And I am a senior consultant with them, primarily in the education division. And so that all stems from a background that I have had over a long, long time in the field of education. So that's what brings us together and how we've met and how we have come here today to be together.
Yes. So, and the new year is here, 2023. And I would love for you to share with us, how to get inspired to start moving towards a better version of ourselves in this year. So, what are some of strategies, techniques that you can share with our audience today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's always this fun time of year that we get to sit back, reflect on the year, what happened the year before, how did things go, how badly we messed up, and where and why. Oh my gosh! And I was sitting in the airport last week at this time and reflecting on what happened in 2022. Am I satisfied of where I came to? What happened that I had planned? What happened that was unplanned and complete total surprise, and the outcome there and why? And it's funny when you look at this, Paula, because studies have been done where we get to this place of resolutions, if you will, or goal setting in the new year. And some studies will put it at about 69% of people are successful at the end of 12 months. Other studies have put it somewhere around 55%. So, really, half of the people that set these New Year's goals are going to be successful. And the alarming number is about half of the people are not. And so, as we dive into this, we begin looking at the why behind. Really want to kind of showcase a couple of thoughts as we get started. First of all, is when you're setting the goals, coming to a place of how to accomplish this, if you will, in the process goal. Meaning that in the process, I have clearly defined what I want and why, and now I have laid out this process map, if you will, of how I'm going to do that. So let's take this for example. If in my approach goal to this is that I want to eat healthy, I want to exercise, because Lord knows chips are my downfall. Potato chips are my enemy, Paula. And so in
Ooh.
that process, I want to eat healthier and I don't want to exercise. Okay. So I have this, what we call an approach goal. Now, when I put out that process to it, now I'm going to be eating healthy. I'm going to be exercising, and I'm identifying those days of the week that I'm going to be doing those specific things. An avoid goal, if you will, would be like, hey, I'm going to avoid eating chips. And I'm going to really look at not adding on to, let's say, stored fat on my body. Now, the challenge with that in that avoidance goal is I'm not really clearly defining what I'm going to do. And that's why the process piece comes in so clearly and so defined that now I'm going to put what I want into action. So, with that being said, as we begin looking at getting ourselves into, let's say, a good mindset, a good headspace, a good heart space, to clearly define what I want. For me, Paolo, this comes in three main areas of my why, if you will. I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, and I want to be abundant. That can come from financially in what I take in and what I give. That could be coming from a space of love, if you will. What love am I taking in? What love can I give? And so, I think about my cup being full of love and joy and being able to have that just flow over into this new year to everyone that I come in contact with. That's the space I want to be there. Happy, healthy, financially abundant. So when I get there to that clear understanding of what I want, then I can begin talking about what it is that I want to do.
Oh, okay. You're taking it.
So now here's a fun way to jump into this. And I can tell you I've done this for the new year already, Paula. Is I look at what I want to do, right? And I just make a random list. What I want to do. I want to exercise. I want to have a good, what I call a rise and rest routine. What I do in the morning first off and what I'm doing at the end of the day to close out my day. Healthy eating. I want to have more patience. My wife, my kids are going to appreciate that. Really get into that having more patience space. I really want to get into meditation. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. That is something that's going on that list. And then I want to inspire and motivate others to act upon change for themselves by me leading by example. So on the top of my list, I'm going to write up there at the top my choices.
Okay. So before we go to my choices, okay, for everybody that is listening to us, our first step is to get clarity, right? Clarity of our approach goal, what we want, right?
Yes.
And we have to be clear on what we don't want, which does our avoid goal. Like in your case is you want to eat healthy. So in order for you to eat healthy, you have to stop or slow down eating chips. Correct. Right? So, okay, which this one hurts. The avoid goal, just thinking about it, it hurts because it's like how, like you're taking it away.
Exactly.
But here we go. It's like, I love what you said, that we need a mindset, but also a heart set. Like our heart has to be aligned with our mind, right? In order to go after these beautiful goals for 2023. So I love that. So for anybody that is listening to us, it's like, it's a beautiful reminder, especially for me, to align. Okay, are my goals aligned with, my growth mindset and my heart? Like, do they align? That's beautiful. In your case, you want to be happier, you want to be healthier, and you want to be more abundant. In this case, for anybody, everybody that is listening to us, you give it your own definition, right? And that's what's the beauty of it. That happy on your terms, healthy on your terms, abundant on your terms. That's beautiful. So after that, once we know what we want, like in this case, some of us are probably thinking, I need to lose those few pounds that I gained over the holiday. It's just an example. So what do I need to do in order to get that done? That's our second question.
Yeah, that's great. So once now that I have made this list that I've labeled my choices,
Okay.
right? This is what I'm going to do. I'm making the choice to do that. Now, I'm looking at writing my choice in a way that is going to inspire me to action. So I love this thought process because as we're looking at getting into the right headspace and heart space, I have a paragraph that I use. Okay. And it starts with me naming myself. And it sounds like this. And by the way, you and listeners out there, you can write this any way that you want, that you feel comfortable with. I'm going to give you an example. And it sounds something like this. I, Eric, choose to. Again, it's all about that choice. I, Eric, choose to, within the next 12 months. Okay. Because now I'm going to clearly define within this next 12 months, I'm going to be reaching this goal. Okay.
Okay.
To have consistent workouts, to look and feel fit, unlocking my physical, emotional, mental, spiritual health. So I'm gonna read that again because it's long, but the reason I do this is because now this becomes the choice of which I act upon. So I, Eric, choose to, within the next 12 months, to have consistent workouts. Now, this could be in any of those areas that I was saying about. I want to have consistent healthy eating. I want to have consistent patient, consistent meditation time, consistent inspiration and motivation of others to unlock my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health. And by the way, those actually are my goals. I'm reading them from the paper right here that I have my goals on. That is actually my goals for 2023. And so now that I have my choices and my choice to make that, do I understand my why? Who am I doing this for? And so I think for you and I, Paula, we know the why is not only yes for me, but for our families, for our children, right? For our spouses. That's the why behind what we're doing. So that has to be very, very clear.
And strong enough because that's your fuel. That's that gasoline that you're going to need every day to okay, I'm going to make this choice. I'm going to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then from that, I can now, with confidence, go into understanding and making my plan. And so within that plan, I now can be looking at, okay, when and where is this going to be happening for me? And so if we will, let's get into taking this plan into, let's say, the scope of a week. And so if I'm going to be working out, exercising regularly, right? Consistent workouts to look and feel fit. When and where is that going to happen? Is it on specific days? Is it specific time? And I want to have consistency in that as well. Because if I just wake up today and go, I should probably work out today. If I get a chance to, I will. Right now, I'm gonna scroll some social media and geez, look at the time. I should probably go do that. I'll work out later. And gosh, I'm kind of hungry. I'll go grab some chips. I'll just eat a little something. I'm still gonna work out. It's gonna happen later. It's okay. What happens at the end of the day?
You're tired. The day's over.
Yeah. So where in my day am I going to schedule that block of time? Okay. So in the scope of me as a leadership coach, this is where I have people really look at that weekly calendar. If you are better in that morning space, do that. If you are better in the afternoon and evening space, do that. Just be consistent with that. Because as my choice statement says, I choose to, within the next 12 months, to have the results that I want to have. And I'm not going to have that if I'm not consistent. It's not going to drive the results because I won't be in action. So in that plan space, I'm going to hit that. Now, where does the healthy eating come in? Am
What
I
does it
going to
look
be
like?
meal prepping? Do I need to be pulling up recipes? Do I need to go to the grocery store? What do I need to do to get that nutrition to have readily available for me to have that plan stick?
What does it look like?
What does it look like? What do
Yeah.
I want to eat?
Because this is a new phrase that I learned from Joseph McClendon III in our last training. He said, if you don't plan, then you plan to fail, right? So as as moms, is like we have to plan in order for us to feel like we succeeded. Like I'm talking like personally, like I have to know what I'm going to cook through the week on Sunday, so that the week goes smoothly. Because whenever I don't know, then I feel like I'm on a wreck. It was like, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do, and I didn't plan. So I love what you're saying. That what does it look like during the week? If we're going to eat healthier, pre-plan your meals. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I know for us, like Sunday afternoons and evenings, like we go to the grocery store, and then we'll cook up. Jen and I will cook up probably 2 or 3 meals, or we'll prep. So whether it's a crock pot meal that we're going to throw in, or if it's like a pork roast that's going to cook for like 24 hours, and we'll throw that on, or whatever it's going to be. So that way we have that food tangible at our fingertips, that I'm not reaching for the chips. Dinner is there. It's just up to me to make the choice to warm it up, if you will. Right. Yeah. Then as we both get busy, we also have leftovers for the lunch. Right. And I don't know about your kids, Pella, but mine, they absolutely hate leftovers. So that's the challenge, right? How do we appease everybody in the house, right? And so it takes some training and getting to that place of like, look, there's food there. If you are choosing to eat it, you will not be hungry. Please don't come to me and say, I'm so hungry, there's nothing to eat in the house. That ever happened to you? There's nothing
all
to eat
the time. Right? Yes. In my house, I have to cook like usually 2 different meals. Because the little ones, they usually eat the same thing most of the time. And then I have to cook something different for the rest of us. But yes. But here we go. It's like plan. If I plan ahead, then I know what to expect. And one phrase that came to me just now was like, consistency matters, because what we feed every day grows.
That's right.
So if we're feeding that discipline, the results that we're going to get is like we're going to be in that 50 to 60% that ends up the year with a smile because we accomplished those goals. So this is something, now that you gave percentage, I love that you shared the percentage of how, the percentage of people that ends up the year accomplishing their goals, achieving, what they wanted through the year. Because sometimes I remember in college, they said, well, in Oklahoma, I think it was like 26% only there's the only population that graduates. So when I was suffering through college, where I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard, I was like, I don't know if I can do it, then I'm like, no, I want to be one of those, and that percentage that graduate. Like I knew that only 20-something% of students would graduate in the state. So it was like, I remember every time times got hard, I was like, no, I want to be a part of the group, who graduates. And that was one of the reasons that kept me going. So today I invite our audience to be part of the 60% that, graduates at the end of the year achieving their goals, because it's possible. It's like, make sure that your mindset and your heart are aligned
Mhm.
towards these goals in 2023, because we hear a lot about, whenever we set goals, that the majority of the people doesn't follow through. That is, if we begin to see who are we becoming right through the journey, it's even more fun, because we're becoming a better version of ourselves as we're practicing that consistency of discipline. It could come in different flavors. For some people, it might be academically. For other people, it might be finances. For other people, could be health. Other people could be relationships. So it's like they come in different flavors, but you get to decide to set your mindset and your heart aligned with what Eric is sharing, which is get clarity. Here we go again on what you want, so that you know what to do, so that you know your choices, so that you get to write your statement. I am, and this is what you're going to commit to do on during this year. And then why are you doing it? It's so important. That's our fuel, our family. Sometimes we do more for others, like we get to do whenever we're thinking that other people are benefiting. So like you said, if you gain more patience this year, your family will benefit.
Yeah.
If we eat healthy, if we stay healthy, we're going to feel much better, and our spouses, our kids will benefit from it. They're going to see more smiles from us, more giggling time, hopefully. They know when and where this is going to take place. Consistency matters. And what does it look like? What does it look like to you in your mind taking action?
Yeah. 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 That's spot on right there. And, you know, I think also we really should take um, into account, if you will. I was looking for a different word, but let's use account. Taking into account the fact that if left to my own device, I'm either going to make this or I'm going to break it, and I'm not going to do it. So, which percentage do I want to land in at the end of the year? Because here we are. Wait, today is January the 10th. Majority of the people between the start of the new year, when they say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do all this," and about the 20th of January, the people that go beyond that are the ones that end up being in that upper 50, 60% that complete that goal. And, we look at when we're creating habits and we're creating consistency, we're creating the ability for us to be successful. I could tell you the times that works for me, and it is proven, it is when I have an accountability partner.
Oh, yes.
Who am I going to have hold me accountable? Now, this could be an accountability partner. I like the word accountability buddy. Who is my
Yes.
accountability buddy that I am going to say, listen, do not allow me to slack off and hold me accountable for achieving what I know I want. And I'm sharing this with you, Paula. Here's what my goals are. And Paula's like, all right, I'm in. I'm going to be your accountability partner. I'm going to have this check-in with you throughout the course of the week. And now I'm texting Paula and go, excuse me, how is the meal prep going? Are you doing okay? Is everything going great? Are your kids surviving? Are they starving to death? Where are we? Where are we
Yes.
anymore? Right?
Yes. So
God.
true. Eric says, Heidi, hi, thank you for joining us. Yes, accountability is key, she says, and I totally agree. Eric and I were in this elite neuroencoding program, and we made it through because we had an accountability buddy.
Yeah, we really did. We really did. And I think, like I said, what gets in the way? And so because we are having accountability and consistency with that, on the other side of that, I would really challenge us, you and I, Paula, and all the listeners out there to foresee what red flags might show up, what challenges might show up. Because if I can identify those now, when they come and show themselves, I'm so
Yes.
tired today. I don't want to go work out. I don't want to meal prep. I don't want to do this. Now I can say, whoa, 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 whoa. Push the pause button on my life remote.
Yeah.
What is going on? Now I'm connecting with my head and my heart space. Let's get that aligned with my why.
Yes.
And my end goal, right? In my process, my approach goal is to do this. I need to stay true to me. And I need to make
Yes.
sure that I go and do that.
I'm going to share something that happened to me yesterday. Now that you're saying this, because life is going to happen to us. Life is happening to us right now. And it's how we choose to approach the situations of life. It's not going to be perfect.
Right.
Our left brain is the analytic side. So our left brain is the one that wants you to be perfect. That's just what it is. It's our left brain is very analytic, and it's always measuring, oh, you could have ran one more lap, or you could have, ate this better. Is the one that is kind of judging you at times, is measuring you, but that's its job. Is the left side of the brain very analytic. So sometimes the left side of the brain tries to sabotage us, so we have to learn to know how are we going to get up when we fall down. I like skating, and I'm not the greatest at skating, but I go with my little one and I skate. So whenever you're in the skating ring, they tell you, like they tell the kids, like, as soon as you go down, get up, and they teach them how to get up, and you move on, you continue to go. So today I invite you, as Eric is telling you, is like, what are going to be your red flags during this year? So how are you going to get up when you fall down? When you have a busy day, you forgot your lunch, all you have are chips at the end of the day, and you're so hungry that you're going to eat a bag of chips more likely. Okay, that you fell down. How are you going to get up? Don't stay on the floor if you ate the chips. It's okay. Just get up. And how are you going to trigger yourself to fuel you to continue to move on towards your goals? Yesterday, I came back home. Something happened out of the sudden. It was unexpected. I dealt with it with a smile. And I came home, and as I was cooking, I was like, you should go eat out. You should, you should just go take the family out. And my other side's like, no, it's like, I'll just cook. It would be better. My left side of the brain was telling me your life would be perfect if you just go out and eat. So I got a little bit disturbed because life happens to us. I'm a human. So, but I learned to change it around. You know, I spoke with my heart and I said, no, life might not be going as smooth as I want to right now, but I'm going to enjoy it. So I forced myself to smile through it and enjoy dinner. Even though for 5-10 minutes, I felt overwhelmed. But these are the times, where we truly make the blessings happen, the magic happen at home is through those hard situations where it's like, it's not going to be perfect,
Right.
and your left brain is going to let you know
That's right.
that it could be this way or it could be that way. Yeah, you're right. And I remember telling you, it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, it could be this. It could be better if we go out to eat. But I'm already in the middle of this and I'm going to enjoy it. So it took me 5 to 10 minutes to turn it around, because I fell down and I was able to get up. So today we invite you to begin to find strategies that's going to help you to get up in those times, because life happens. We just have to learn to create the blessings, to create the magic through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So well said. I think as I identify for myself the things that creep in that I just want to go, oh yeah, I'm going to binge watch. Oh, just one more episode. I have to stop and ask myself, why? Why am I feeling that way? Where is it
Oh,
coming from? Is it because I'm tired, stressed out, burned out? What red flags are showing up? And I think that's really, really key, because there are times when I'm looking at, I just don't have the energy right now to go work out, or I don't think that I have the capacity to do this, right? And and I think having that sense of elevated awareness, I now ask myself, is that true? Do I really not have that energy? And if I don't, is there something that I can do about that so I can go and work out? So I can go and do this. And so I begin to really kind of look at that process and understand, if this is my if this is what I want to do, this is my approach goal, and I get consistency in that. And I know that if I've got high energy, bam, I'm going to work out. If I have low energy, how do I get that workout?
yeah.
Rather than just sitting on, sorry Siri, rather than just sitting on, the couch. And I know for me, um and as I go around the country, and by the way, I do a lot of speaking in schools with teachers, and in that space, and I always say to clients and participants where I get to steward, don't look at what you can't do, look at what you can do.
Oh, yes.
And that, I think, begins to put some realism to what it is that I'm doing. Because I can tell you, there were times in my life of which I could only do this little thing. I had gotten sick 13 years ago. And I remember it took a good year or so to really kind of get things dialed in with my health. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. This new year, I'm going to do it. The new year came about, and I was still sitting on the couch. And full disclosure, it was a bunch of autoimmune stuff that happened, and I was in really, really bad shape. And I remember sitting on the couch, and the movie Shawshank Redemption came on, one of my favorites, classic movie for me. And if you've never seen that movie, it's about this guy who gets sent to prison for murdering his wife and her lover, of which he did not do. He was framed. And in the movie, he was talking about keeping hope. And there comes a point in time naturally in our.
Oh, I think I lost you for just a second. Hopefully he comes back. We'll see. But while he comes back, I hope you guys are finding this like a huge treasure for you to begin to see that life is not perfect. Life is it's gonna happen to us, but we have to continue to find, our ways for us to turn it around. Whenever things don't go as planned, how can I turn it around? Or is going to take you in that direction to achieve your goals? Because whenever we achieve our goals, we become, it's not about achieving the goal, it's about who are we becoming as we are achieving these goals. So as he was saying, it's like, look at what you can do right now, because our brain is a survival mechanism. It's a beautiful organ. I love learning about the brain, but sometimes is take us only to like survival mechanism, and sometimes we focus on what we cannot do. Sometimes we focus on what we don't have, and that automatically drive us to suffering. Imagine if we don't learn to manage those beautiful thoughts that we have, is like we're going to continue to live in survival mode because we think that we can't, because we think that we don't have enough. But if we learn to turn it around and learn to see, well, what can I do? Maybe right now you say, hey, I went through an accident. I can't run even though I want to. Or, well, what can you do? Ask yourself, it's like, what can you do? Even if it's just giving a few steps a day. So ask yourself, what can you do? And another thing, I was just talking to my students today, and I said, well, we have to learn to educate our thoughts just as we learn to educate our children. Whenever our children are learning, to have conversations. Sometimes they say things that are rude. So we teach them to have a good communication skills. We teach them to have, a quality of language. And same thing with our thoughts. It's like we as adults have to learn to teach our thoughts to be nice, to use the proper language that's going to help us to grow, that is going to help us to be a better version of ourselves. And what brain health is about, it focuses in four components. It's in your spirituality. Maybe you want to grow more in your spiritual life. Brain health is also about your psychology. What's the relationship that you have with yourself? Maybe this year you want to have a better relationship with you. Like learn to get to know you, learn to understand you, learn to accept you. Because whenever we learn to accept ourselves for who we are and what we have, then you can see a brighter future ahead. So maybe you need to work on your psychology. Maybe you're ready, or maybe you're not. But if you're not ready yet, it's okay. Just know that that is part of a brain health component. Your spirituality is one, your psychology is another, your biology. Like Eric was saying, he wants to get healthier. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to get healthier this year. So it's part of your brain health, because whenever we feel better, it's like we're able to transmit it to those that we love. We feel much better, and we're able to share more smiles and more giggles when we feel good. The fourth component of brain health are a relationship with other people. Maybe we want to have a better relationship with our spouse. Maybe we want to have a better relationship with our children. So begin to think, it's like, how can I be better this year? And like he was sharing a while ago, is like a key component. Oh yeah, he said he's back. Awesome. uh, he'll be back anytime soon. So he gained connection again. So what he's inviting us today is to be a part of that 50 to 60% of population that finish those goals at the end of the year. So if you want to be a part of the side of the population that finish the goals at the end of 2023, so we have to gain some clarity. We have to gain clarity. By doing this, he said, we have to have a beautiful mindset that is connected with your heart. Make sure that your mindset and your heart is aligned. Make sure that you know what to do. After you have clarity is like, okay, what do I need to do to achieve these goals? And then he says, write down your choices. In his scenario, I'm going to text. What does the week looks like achieving these goals? Hey, I think I got you back.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It happens. It happens. I'm just glad that you are back. And I think we were talking about the movie. How did the movie change your life? About think of what you can do versus what you can't.
Yeah, and so the line in this movie that the character uses is he said get busy living or get busy dying, because he's in prison, he's sentenced to life, and his mindset is going to go one or two directions. If he gives up, he's going to be a lifer. And so, in the process of saying "get busy living," he devised this plan to escape from jail, which, by the way, he did. But that defining moment, I'm sitting on the couch going, "I've been sick for almost 2 years. And this can't be it. This can't be all that there is for me for life." And so I said, dang it, I am going to get busy living. So I went down to the local gym. I bought a membership. The next day I went back. I got in the treadmill and I walked at speed. I think it was 3, which was my beginning speed. And I
Yeah,
lasted 7 minutes
that's beautiful.
because my body was in such a bad place. Now you fast forward that to the present, I'm out there and I'm pumping weights and I'm running and I'm doing everything. But everybody, my point is on this, everybody has a starting place. So give yourself grace, right? Your end goal is this, and you're going to micro step this goal over the course of your day, week, year, months, and year. Don't expect to have that end result tomorrow. Give yourself grace and allow that time of consistency and action to achieve the goal that you're wanting to achieve.
That's beautiful. And sometimes we overestimate what we can do in a year. We want to do everything in 1 year,
Yeah.
right? But we can stretch it out for 2 to 3 to 5. We can even plan our life for a decade.
Yeah.
Sometimes we over stress about our lives, but know that a lot of us overestimate what we can do in 1 year. So know that we can plan for 2 to 3 to 5 years. So it is okay.
Yeah.
Like you were saying that this happened, what, 13 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Look
Yep.
at you now. You're here with us, sharing your testimonial and your growth and inspiring other people to do what they can.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. Today I was teaching physical science, and there's this group that do the news in the school, and they knock on the door and they're like, "Oh, we just want to know who can we interview today." We want to ask them how their break was, and you see kids going like, "Don't look at me, don't look at me." I'm like, "Hey," I said, "take advantage." I said, "This is your first step to Hollywood," And
Yeah.
I was like, playful out. I was like, "No, but they're going to see me on the Facebook page." She's like, "It doesn't matter. Playful out. Enjoy your year." So out of like 14 students, 3 of them stood up and they went and gave an interview. So, this is what life is about. It's like playful out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we obsess on what we cannot do. It's like we might, be embarrassed. We might not think that we're good enough, but we know you are. You're like, you all are amazing, beautiful human beings that need to learn to step out of your comfort box and begin to see what you can. You know, we're not asking you to go ahead and film a movie at Hollywood. Just the first step.
That's right. That's right.
Just do what you can.
And along with that grace is, I say that because so often as we're going through the journey of this year, as we are embarking on this, can we make adjustments along the way? What do we need to do? Have you ever had this goal and you hit it earlier than later? Absolutely. What do you need to do then? Make a new goal. If you
Yes.
need to take that goal and make adjustments along the way because you need to stretch it, like you're saying, if this year goal needs to go to a year and a half or 2 years, go ahead and do that. Make adjustments along the way. If you're going to fail or fall forward.
Oh, I love that.
And if you need to at times, get on your belly, do the army crawl.
Yeah.
Just so that you're keeping going forward. You're keeping that momentum going forward. And when you need to sit and rest for a little bit, do it.
Yes.
Because that's going to recharge you and re-energize you to continue going forward.
There is a phrase that just came to my mind. I don't even know who wrote this phrase, but I think I read it here maybe last month, where it says, if you can run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But I mean, it's like the point is like just move forward. Whatever you can do, just do it. But it's like move forward, become a better version of yourself. So yes, and while you were gone, I shared that, maybe they don't know, where their goals
Yeah.
should be. And I was like, well, brain health is like we base on our psychology. Maybe you need a better relationship with yourself. Maybe you need to learn to talk to yourself a little bit kinder.
Yeah.
Your biology is like an example of some of your goals, was like eating healthier. The third one is your spirituality. You also want to get better, grow on that area of your life. And then the fourth one is connections with, could be with our spouse, it could be with our children, it could be our at work, it could be building stronger relationships wherever you think it's needed, wherever you think, you're ready to go to the next level.
Yeah.
On the area of your life. So yes, and that's brain health. When all those four areas of our life are balanced, that benefits your brain. And like our mentor is like says, as we think, so we feel, as we feel, so we act, and as we act, it shows the results that we build through the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Another thing that came, I mean, yesterday I had an aha moment, and I was sharing it with our audience as well. Well, we lost you for a few seconds. It was that, how sometimes we teach our children to have a nice language, nice vocabulary, and we say, well, that's not nice to say to your brother. That's not nice to say to your sister. Well, yesterday, as I was telling you, I was trying to move, get out of that stressful moment. I was like, oh, wow. It's like we have to teach our language. The thoughts that we have are the language of our brain, are the language of our mind. So just as we guide our children, we have to learn to guide our mind to have a nice language. That's so nice to think, of me, or to think of the kids. So it's like learn to educate our mind, the language, as we educate our children to express nice sentences towards other people.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. What you say to yourself directly comes from what you see in your mind. And when we begin to align that, right, that's our head and our heart space. When we begin to align that, we're going to find that grace that we need. We're going to find that inspiration that we need. We're going to find that willingness to go into my choices and say, this is what I want to do. And so I say that because then we're looking at, really in our core is how we feel, right? And all of that, what you just said, Paula, is so poignant for achieving our goals, is keeping that voice in that positive and knowing when and where I need to push and pull from in order to keep going forward, because that's a constant adjustment. I think, where do I need to push myself because I don't want to? Where do I need to pull myself along because I'm like, yes, I'm going, this is awesome.
Yeah, and celebrate yourself now that you do that. Yeah, it's like celebrate each step that you go through on your goals. It's like, oh, I did that. It's like, and I wasn't able to, and I did it. And even if you were able to, celebrate, because you teach your brain to do more of it. So celebration is a key for us to accomplish our goals. Celebrate each step of the way.
Yeah.
Teach the brain to do more and more of it. Yes, yes. Where can we find you?
Where can you find me? You can find me on Facebook. You can come and join my Facebook page there at Energetic Life Now. I'm also on Instagram at life_coach_Eric, ERIC. So Energetic Life Now Facebook page, life_coach_Eric on Instagram. And just really, really appreciate you having me here, Paula.
Oh, no, you are so welcome. I appreciate your time. Now, tell us a little bit about the 7 habits, because that's what you train educators on, right?
Yeah, that's correct. As a Frankencovey consultant, I've been with them well over a decade now. I've had the opportunity to teach, present, if you will, the 7 habits of highly effective people, 7 habits of highly effective families, effective teens, effective kids, in all kinds of different avenues around the United States. And in that, it really is setting a person up for success as they begin to learn to really default to practices of effectiveness that are going to get them the right results that they're looking to get. So without knowing that today, in what we've been talking about, I went through in quite a few of the best practices within the 7 habits to make that applicable into the goal setting that we've been talking about today. And
Uh,
so, whether you're a preschool, a student in preschool on up through higher ed, these are practical life principles that you can begin to put into play right now that will enhance your journey through life to have consistency in getting the results that you want to get.
that's beautiful. As an educator, and as technology keeps advancing, there is a conflict of environment in the classroom at times.
Mhm.
So, for any educators out there, is like, we get you. So, what I try to do is like, I try not to generalize my students, because I think when we generalize, we completely shut down the opportunity to reinvent a new way of teaching, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes, because at high school, I'm at the high school, so sometimes it's like I get those moments of like, okay, they won today. It's like today and I tell my mom, today they won. And then there's days where it's like, I won today. I was a good leader. So when I'm a good leader, I celebrate, but as an in education field is like, it's always, I was like, how can I engage them? It's always it can be very fascinating trying to figure out, okay, how can I engage them and for how long I can engage them. And what I've learned is that I am responsible. I don't blame, I truly do not blame uh, the new generation. I believe that if I'm in that classroom, I'm the leader. And I do tell them, I said, no, it's like, this didn't go through because I wasn't a good leader for you guys. Oh, no, Miss Guthrie is like, no, it's on me, because I should have known better. But we'll try it again. It's like, and then I try it again. Each day it's a surprise, because there's days where it's like, yes, it worked out. And there are other days that it doesn't work out. But
Yep.
yeah, I love the 7 habits and having the growth mindset in the classroom. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like trying to read. I mean, I say really from the bottom of my heart that it's a science. It's
Mhm.
you trying and it's an error could then you try something new and see what works. But as long as you don't lose that hope, you don't lose that believing that it is possible, believing that you are making a difference,
Right.
even if you're just there with a smile, you are making a difference.
Yeah.
So it's for any educators out there that are exhausted, for any educators out there that feel that it's not worth it, is like, don't lose that hope, don't lose that I can be a change in the world for them. Please, because it's like, I feel you, and I know Eric does because he works with educators a lot of the time as well, training them. And yeah, I'm learning not to generalize. I'm learning to redirect my mind every time it's
Yes.
trying to generalize and blame uh the age, like the time of the year, the time of life right now. But
Sure.
anyway, any last words before we go? We have about 1 minute left.
Yeah, just be gentle with yourself. Be consistent, stay motivated, stay hungry for your outcome. Stay on track. If you fall off, don't beat yourself up. Get up and keep going, because it will all be worth it at the end of this year. So best of luck. And if you need an accountability partner, reach out. I'd be happy to support you.
Yes, yes. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate you for sharing your wisdom with us, sharing your experience with all of our audience today. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for listening to us. Remember that you give talent, you give power to your talent. You are the only one that can give power to your talents. You're the only one that can truly give life to your dreams. I hope you got an aha moment. I hope you found a word, a phrase that you can implement into your life to create a brighter future. If you know anybody that can benefit from this information, share the video. You can go to my YouTube channel, like it, comment, and see what you like, what you didn't like, what we need to do better to serve you more. So my YouTube channel is Paola Guthrie, and then you can find there this show and all of the other shows, even in Spanish. So thank you all so much for joining us today, for spending your time with us. This show can also be heard in Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all news and programming. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Blessings to you all, and we'll see you soon. Much love.